Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica and our continuing series on the Wii U, and today we're taking a look at Zombi U, and that's a mouthful to get out, a lot of U's there. But before we get too far involved, you could do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and if you feel so inclined, we got a Patreon link down there as well if you want to support the channel. But Zombi U was one of the two games I purchased at launch for my Wii U, and I couldn't get a pre-order, so I stood in line at the Toys R Us around the corner from my house, and I was able to score a console with these two games. And I really wanted to play Zombi U based on all the previews and videos I'd seen, because not only is it rare to get a mature rated game on a Nintendo console, granted things have changed as time has moved on, but I also love horror games and survival horror, so this had everything I was potentially looking for in a new experience. And while it's not remembered as fondly as I remember it, it's an absolutely awesome game, and if you haven't played it, I can't recommend it highly enough, because it has everything you want in a horror game. Your character always feels underpowered, and you always have a pretty consistent level of anxiety with what's going on, because dying in this game has consequences. You're going to lose your character, and you're going to lose your inventory, and you're going to have just but one chance to go kill your character as a zombie to get it back, because if you die a second time, the contents of your inventory are lost forever. So this game has a lot of stakes, and I really love it for that. The loading times can be a little bit iffy, but I'm able to deal with it. It's kind of the last generation thing when loading times are still an issue. But the thing I love most about this game is the story is actually very intriguing. And while it actually started out as a completely different game, and I'll get to that in a little bit, the story that we have here is compelling, and it does drive the experience forward because you want to find out what's happening in the world of Zombi U and what's going on in London. And right now we're in the Buckingham Palace level, and I can't remember that I've actually seen a game that had Buckingham Palace as a place that you could visit. And visually, it is a stunning game. I mean, granted, it is old now and it doesn't hold up to new releases, but what they were able to do for a launch game on the Wii U is quite impressive, and Ubisoft always makes really pretty games that are almost always fun to play, and they did a great job with Zombi U here. Now granted, I've never been to Buckingham Palace, and this could be 100% made up out of the developers' imaginations, but it kind of looks like what I would expect it to be outside of all the destruction and the blood. And you'll see here that we have one zombie. And you're not going to rush in to fight enemies in this game. You really want to be strategic about it and try to sneak up on them. Because this cricket bat, it is a slow attacking weapon. You can't just continually spam that button and destroy enemies. Because you'll see, we got ourselves in a little bit of a pickle by rushing in too quickly, and now we have two enemies on us. And you do not want groupings of enemies in this game. And then we just headshotted one, and we're going to use the cricket bat to destroy the second zombie, because you want to be conservative with your ammunition. You're not going to get much. But seeing a zombie head explode on a Nintendo platform, that was relatively rare when this came out. Granted, you had the Resident Evil games on GameCube, and you could definitely see a couple exploding heads, but this was violent in a way that most games on Nintendo consoles weren't, and it was fun just to experience that type of game on a Nintendo platform, because we didn't get that much of it. But I can't keep saying how amazing this game really looks. The designers did a great job with the visuals. All the ornate wallpaper, the chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, everything that goes into an individual scene in Zombi U really sells the story of where you are. You have all these different oil paintings on the walls. This looks like you would imagine Buckingham Palace being, like I said earlier, outside of zombies. But a lot of the game is very strategic. You wouldn't expect that out of a first-person shooter game, but you really need to be careful of how you move around the areas, because you don't want to alert zombies until you're ready. You'll see we have this helmeted zombie here, and we'll get into his mechanics in a moment, but as we jump over this little table, we had a zombie who was hiding around the corner. And the developers do a great job of not monster closeting enemies, but putting them in places where you're constantly thinking, what am I going to see just around the edge of the screen? So you're always anxious about what might happen next, because the zombies are quite powerful. You do not want to get stuck in a group of them, because they are going to decimate you very quickly. So what we want to do is bait them. We use the cricket bat and pop this guy in the helmet, but he has armor on him, and using the cricket bat is basically going to be almost pointless. So while I have a little bit of a bad aim there, we need to pop that helmet off of him so that we're better able to hit his head. And like I said earlier, you want to conserve your ammo. That gun is just for either if you get into a bad situation or if you have to pop a helmet off. Once you have one zombie down and his head's not protected, you want to switch to a melee weapon and conserve your ammunition because it is one of the most valuable commodities in this game along with health spray items. Because like I said, if you die, you lose your inventory. You get one chance to get it back. If you die again, that's it. You have very little on you. So inventory resource management is huge in this game. Because you'll see the last character I played as 2 years ago in my second playthrough. Sorry to leave you hanging so long, buddy. If we can kill him, we get our old inventory back. So doing that is a very stressful thing, because if you die again, you lose everything. But what's interesting about Zombi U is it didn't start as Zombi U. It actually started as Killer Freaks from Outer Space, and there does exist some promotional materials and trailers for the game. A lot of it is still the same. It's in London, something's going on, everyone's British, but it's a completely different game that I wish we got. But I'll let you guys watch the trailer really quick, and I'll come back in about a minute. We'll keep talking about Zombi U. But enjoy.
Well, I'm off for this scoop. Let's blow this story wide open, eh? Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty. Oops! There, have that! Oh, the daddy!
So you can see that while Zombi U borrowed a lot from Killer Freaks from Outer Space, it was an entirely different game in its own right. Basically, the rabbits from the Rayman series actually looked like they got rabies and turned into murderous mutants. And that's just a fun game that I wish we could have played as well. But if you've never played Zombi U, I can't recommend it highly enough. You can get it on a lot of different platforms, but for me, the Wii U version is still the best, because not only is it where it started, but the gamepad integration for inventory management makes it a lot more fun to play. This game has everything I want in a horror game. It's properly scary, the environments are great to look at and diverse, and there are actual stakes in the game. Because like I said earlier, you are not the most powerful person in the world of Zombi U. Your character is relatively weak, and it doesn't take too many bites or swipes from a zombie to kill you. And when you die, you're losing a lot of progress, and you're losing a lot of inventory. So each death has a really consequential effect on your gameplay. You just don't want to die, even though it's going to be happening. And as we move into this next room here, you're going to see exactly what you don't want to do. I'm able to bait this first zombie out, and I can pop him in the head with that cricket bat. I never held a cricket bat in real life, but it seems like it's a great zombie killing item, so if you do have to fight them one day, look for one. But because I used the gun to finish him off, which was probably a stupid idea, I aggroed this next zombie and I ran out of ammunition. And while you can pop his helmet off with the cricket bat, this guy takes a lot more strikes to put down than the unarmored zombies. And you're going to encounter different enemy types that are going to have more health. And basically, what you really don't want to do is get stuck in a horde. And for any zombie game, any zombie media, you know the horde is the most dangerous thing. And that's where I make my mistake. You have to move methodically through this game. Each decision you make needs to be well thought out. Because while you can sometimes get a really quick insta-kill like that, all of a sudden now I've got multiple zombies coming my way. And that's not a situation you want to be in. Because that cricket bat swings slowly, and these guys move faster than you're able to attack them. So you have to transition back and forth, trying to hit them. And I clearly do a really bad job of it, and now I am going to end up dead, and I'm going to have to hunt back for that inventory. But short of that, that is Zombi U. It's an awesome game. Definitely play it if you haven't. We will be back next Tuesday with another episode in our Wii U series, and we'll have videos on Friday and Sunday as well. But we've been infected, and we got to go search our inventory back down. But thanks so much for watching. Do me a huge favor. Go down below and hit like and subscribe. We appreciate it. If you played this game or you have any questions, leave a question or comment below, because I love chatting with you guys. But short of that, that is Zombi U. Can't recommend it enough. Properly scary survival horror game for you guys to check out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.